In this video, I'm going to show you how to enter employees into the Wisconsin State Pyramid Model Implementation Data System, or PIDS for short. Entering your employees should happen after you have already set up all of your classrooms at your program. So make sure that you're following the correct order of setting up your program in PIDS by first setting up all of the classrooms at your program and then moving on to employees and children. In this tutorial, we're going to assume that I have already set up all of my classrooms and that I'm ready to enter employees now. To enter employees, I need to get to the employee dashboard, and I can do that by either coming over to employees on the left-hand menu or coming up to the top dashboard menu, clicking on it, and then clicking on employees there. You're going to want to enter all employees that could be observed using the teapot or tippy toes, as well as any people in your program who are responsible for coaching or providing teapot and tippy toes observations, even if those people are not technically employed by your program. To add a new employee, I'm going to click this button, this blue button over here called Add New Employee. And then I'm going to start by entering some basic information about the employee I'm entering, like first name, last name, and an email. If your employee doesn't have an email, you can make up a fake one, as I'm doing right now. You do have to put something into that section in order to move on. And then you're going to enter the hire date for that employee. The next two sections are termination date and termination reason. And so for those two sections, you're not going to fill those out right now because you should be entering current employees or current people who are involved with your program. For people who are not actually employed by your program but provide coaching or do teapot or tippy toes observations, you can always put in the date that they kind of started working with your program into this hire date section. When you have all this basic information entered, you're going to click Save. This is going to bring up some additional windows to put in some additional information. So the first one that comes up is trainings, and this is where you can add trainings such as pyramid model or PWE or other pyramid model trainings. You can do that by clicking the Add New Training and selecting the appropriate ones. The next section that comes up is job functions, and you're going to want to make sure as you're setting up employees for the first time that you do go ahead and add a new job function right away. To do that, I'm going to click on the Add New Job function, and then I'm going to select the appropriate job function for the person that I'm entering. The ones that you really need to be concerned with are teacher, teaching assistant, classroom coach, teapot reliable observer, and tippy toes reliable observer. Teachers and teaching assistants are the only two job functions who can be observed using the teapot or tippy toes. Classroom coaches are the only job function who can use the classroom coaching logs in the PID system. And then teapot reliable observers and tippy toes reliable observers are the only two job functions who can do the teapot or tippy toes. So you just want to select the most appropriate job function for the person you're entering. And then you're going to put in a start date. And you just want to make sure that that start date is on or before the hire date. The next section is end date, and you won't be filling that out until that teacher moves on from that job function, if that happens. When you have all that information on, go ahead and save the section by clicking the Save button right here. And then the next section is a classroom assignment history, and this is where you can note what classroom that teacher is in. So you can do that by adding a new assignment, and then you'd put in your assign date. Okay, select the classroom the teacher is in, and select the classroom job. Again, the last two sections in this little section are leave date and leave reason, which you won't complete until the teacher moves on from that classroom. Save the section by clicking Save here, and then save the entire employee by clicking the Save at the very bottom. And then you should see the employee you just entered in the table right here. If you need to change something or fix something, you can always do so by clicking on Actions and then selecting Edit, or if you need to delete the employee, you can select Delete right here. Remember that you're going to want to enter employees that may be observed using the teapot or tippy toes, or any people who are responsible for coaching or doing teapot or tippy toes observations, even if those people are not actually employed by your program. And that's how you enter an employee into PIDS.